Hey guys, sharing a few new information with you, and this is the post-mortem of the Real-Time Strategy Fest on Steam 2025. I want to share my experiences with you, my mistakes, my decisions that I made, what I think went well, what I think went bad, why the things went good or bad, and why I made the decisions that I did, so that you guys can learn from me and have better situation, better outcomes. I hope so, at least. Or you're just entertained finding out about the background information of this little project. My game, Quartermaster, is a World War I logistics game. It's still in development as of now. I don't know when you're going to watch it. You can wishlist it or hopefully buy it when you watch it. Link in the description below. So let's go through it. This will be a bit of a longer video than usual because I want to explain the stuff properly to all of you. So, first thing, I saw the festival option to get into the festival. I had just 3 days to decide if I wanted to get into the festival or not. My page was not set up, I had no Steam page online, and I found out that there would be no strategy fest until I published the game. I had a bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. I felt like, okay, I should kind of use that chance. And so I created the Steam page. Very, very fast, very basic. The UI, UX does not match properly. I just threw together a bit of stuff, and basically it's nowhere near polished or proper. That's one of the big issues. I still decided to make the move and to go for it, basically because of a few easy thoughts. My considerations were those. If the game is bad, and if the page is bad, and no one wants to look at it, and no one cares about it, then I will just have nobody look at the page anyway. I don't have a trailer, I don't have a demo, I have nothing like that. So when you get on the list in another video of mine, you can see when I scroll through the list, it's really not as exciting as the other games. The capsule art was terrible. So I thought, okay, almost no one will notice the game anyway. So for those people who won't notice it, no harm done. I mean, I know most people think, oh, that is terrible. But to me, it was more like, well, those people won't care about the game anyway. They won't look at the page anyway. And when I come out, like, for example, in the next fest or with a streamer making giving attention to the game, or some influencer talking about it, or some media or something like that in 3 or 4 months, and the people come back with the better capsule art and the better screenshots, they won't even remember that it was the bad page from 4 months ago. So to me it was like, I don't care, I'm gonna give it a shot and I'm going to try it. And that's what I did. um in my opinion, the results were not bad, not good. I go through the numbers with you all. But that was the mindset that I was in, where I said, well, I'm gonna give it a shot, even if it's bad. I'm gonna try it. I only found out later on that that there's this ignore button. And the ignore button is something that might be dangerous. Because if you get too many people who would have gotten your game wishlisted or bought it, or at least were interested, and now because of a messed up start you got a lot of them to ignore the game, then you might have problems. I personally thought unlikely for my kind of niche game. It's a very niche game. It's a typical spreadsheets the game style, where you have a lot of data, where you have a lot of numbers, where you have to crunch. I think people who are into these kind of games excuse if the screenshots don't look that polished. My opinion, my bet that I took, I don't think that many people who are into this kind of niche, that they would very likely click on ignore. I think they will be more open to revisit the site again in the future. But for example, if you're a sports fan, sports games fan or something like that, of course you might easily click on ignore seeing these screenshots. But those people are very, very, very unlikely to like the game even with the polished screenshots anyway. So I thought the risk reward system isn't risk reward is good enough the ratio for me to give it a shot. That's just what I thought. Now, let's go through the numbers a bit together. Wish lists I got after this festival, I've got 287 wish lists, which is better than some. I already found out many people get worse results, many people get way better results. So I think I'm like in the lower low middle field, somewhere there where it's like, that's not a really good sign, but it's not totally awful. We also have to look at the graph. At the first 2 days, I posted on different social media. I contacted a bit of a community that I've got, like on meme pages and other stuff. So this is mainly a search of people who had seen me already work on the project a bit prior, like the 1 or 2 months before I even published the Steam page. I already made short devlogs and short little posts about, hey, this is the art that I'm going to use. Hey, this is an idea that I've got. Hey, I programmed XYZ into the game. Da 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 da. So I think starting with marketing and sharing stuff long before you even have a Steam page is a good idea, in my opinion, because you develop a bit of a community, you create a bit of a hype of information, like people start to know, oh, okay, that's cool. Maybe do I like the idea or not? I, for example, used a meme page where you can like follow a creator. I made a own account just for the game posts. I tried Reddit, I got banned on Reddit. No clue why, no clue why. I didn't even post yet. I just commented on other posts and was friendly and nice, and I don't know. Reddit just doesn't work for me. But if you've got it, I would use it. Like, for example, for me, I've got a World War One, First World War game. I would be in subreddits for the First World War and for logistics games and strategy games and so on. Anything that might fit. We can see the first 2 days work, which I think is important to understand, because I drove outside traffic, like maybe 50, 100 people who wishlisted it. I think Steam pushed it a bit more to even more people. Once that dried down, it got way lower, of course. Here we see now it's very, very low, which I think has a lot to do with the page not being that good, with the screenshots not being that good. All the things that I already told you were issues. But 200, almost 280 wishlists, I don't think it's too bad. Now, the traffic. I think the traffic was nice. As you can see, the big spike on that day. I think it's going to stay pretty low for now, but that's not too bad. And what made the traffic worse, why I have this sun bump here, and why it's keeping a bit higher, and we will see how it develops over the next few weeks, even though I'm not doing any traffic or any posts or anything, is because I made a huge mistake. I did not translate the page initially. I just had it in English. And only at like the 3rd or 4th day, I think even the 5th day of the festival, did I realize, when I wanted to show a friend another game just for research purposes, that we couldn't find the game on his Steam. And I was like, why can't we find it? And we wasted a few minutes and looked around and tried out stuff until I found out somewhere in his options, in the settings of his Steam account, was only show games with pages in his language. And he was a German speaker. So he would only see games that had a German Steam page. Even if the game was English, which was fine for him, the page itself had to be German. So even if he typed the exact name of the game into the search bar, he would not see the game and not find it. And that's when it hit me that I had no translations, which in my opinion was a huge mistake. I scrambled together some very bad AI translated pages. I considered one more day, should I use it, should I not? Because I am a German speaker myself, I'm an Austrian. And I read the German translation, and it was not good. Like, it was really not. I can't imagine that the other languages are good. And so I don't know, I hesitated for another day, and then I said, screw it, I'm just gonna try it, and did it for like a few languages: German, English, French, Spain, Russian, Japanese, and so on. And it worked. It immediately worked. Like, I know these values are low, but you gotta imagine from 67 to 220, that's like 3x 3x more people looked at the page immediately. Which I think if I had done it in this time, in the moments where I had this whole thing still running, I would have made more, way more, I think. Who knows? Just giving you that advice. Better have a translated, AI translated language than not. It's gonna help you. Here we can see, just for you to share the numbers a bit, where my visitors came from. And as you can see, last 2 weeks, it immediately, I got Russian and a few other countries. And I can't, can I let go just yesterday? Who cares? Yeah. Da, 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 da. As you can see immediately with the new languages that I had: Japanese, I had Korean, I had, yeah, here's Korean, I had Russian more, I had Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian, and suddenly all of these countries that were not even not on the list the week before, suddenly started to look at the page. So I think that's a really, 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 really important thing. Next thing, a big controversy: AI art. I think the capsule art is absolutely important, and I am not a good artist in that regard. So what could I do? I didn't want to spend money yet for a capsule art. It was too close. I had 3 days. So I threw together a miserable AI capsule art. As you can see here, you can see all the fractals, the little issues. Catastrophic. Wow, ugly. Still, I tried it, and it still worked. I had this capsule at around this time, these 3, 4 first days. Then I had some time to get a little bit better. I upgraded it, just getting rid of the worst parts. Like over here, as you can see, the lamp is awful, and retouched it, that made it a little bit better. Still catastrophic. I used another font to not have it be so immediately clear, but it's still, it's still not good. And then I had an artist properly recreate it. It's still on a flatter version. It's not that I'm really that happy with it. The capsule art in general is not perfect because it's way too much Second World War style. The signs are wrong and so on, but that's something else. That's something I have to work on. And this is the version that I've got right now to make it a bit like in the background, just how I like it. We'll see how it works out. So the capsule art, absolutely important. If you can get a good capsule art done, really important. If you can get yourself a little gameplay trailer, the fact that you hover over the capsule and then get to see the first trailer, the first few seconds in all of these lists, makes a huge, tremendous difference, in my opinion. Makes a huge difference. Another thing, the page was set up first, pretty basic, just with text. And I only at the 3rd or 4th or 5th day added a few little GIFs, a bit of the graphics to show a bit more of what would the game be like. That you can upgrade the different locations, that you have different characters you can play, that you can interact with, and so on. So that's my little post-mortem. I think that's really important. These are the things that I would tell you. So in short summary, again, get good screenshots, get a good capsule art. If at all possible, get yourself a proper trailer when you publish the page. Use translation for the pages. even if they are bad, they're still better than having none at all, it seems. At least to me. And still try to get them as good as possible. I asked a few friends and a few people to like look over them and give me hints if they know the languages, to like where should I adapt the words, make it sound a bit better and more natural for those tongues, so to speak. And in my opinion, start sharing your development early and soon, so that when you have the first beats like publishing the page or other stuff, that you already have people that you can share this information with, to have a little hype generated. A few things that I did not do because I had no time for it, which I would absolutely do. Usually I would send in the game way prior to the festival, so that all the media and all the reporters and journalists and influencers and streamers and so that get exclusive access a week before the fest to the games and the ideas and the pages, that they can already hopefully take a look at your stuff and like it too, and maybe make a little post about it or something, who knows. Second thing, I would, if I had more time, I would have researched more journalist name. I would have made a press release. I would have contacted all kinds of media, influencers. I would have tried to get a list of as many as possible, like Twitter accounts, Blue Sky accounts, people on Twitch, people on YouTube, whatever, game channels, whatever. Like get a list of 1,000 emails if possible. Work 1 or 2 weeks just to scroll, just to scrape and crawl and look for these emails and contacts, and then mail them in. Hey, we're going to publish our game X on this and this with the festival. Maybe you want to like say something about it. Here's our little file. Here's a PDF with information. Here's our press kit. Thank you very much if you want to share it with someone. It's a You can't guarantee that anyone picks it up, but if someone picks it up, I think it is a huge multiplier for the whole game, for the whole project too. Like if I had a little press release again, I could have posted that too on my social media again, making even more hype for the little community. I would have gotten additional people to my page, and I don't know how it works, but it seems very much that once you're on a trajectory upwards, Steam gives you even more. Like the numbers now are wrong, I know, but just as an example, it's like for every 10 people that you manage to get on your page, Steam says, okay, cool, we'll give you 10 more, or even 20 more, or even 50 more. So the more you can pull in on your own or through external sources like ads or people or media or influencers or whatever, the more you can pull in yourself, the more Steam will reward you with even more people they send your way directly. Even though my game is at such low numbers, I was told by people that I know already that they were suggested the game on Steam before anything else. So it works out, it seems. That's basically it. And with that, I wish you all a great, 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 great day. I hope you learned from my mistakes. If you have any questions, any considerations, feel free to leave a comment. I'll answer as fast as possible and as often as possible. On the other side, great sources for me is How to Market the Game. Chris Sakowski, really good guy. I appreciate his knowledge a lot. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Bye.